Yes, sir. Thank you guys for joining. I am your host, HerbMan, and you are now rocking with the best. So stay tuned, man. We're gonna hit you guys upside the head with a really, really nice video today. And we're talking about basically food and how it cures all. Okay, all manner of diseases. Food is not only what makes us sick, but it could also be the vehicle we can utilize to cure ourselves from these illnesses. Now, if you're dealing with a genetic issue or a hereditary issue that you maybe got through birth or through some type of genealogy, then you may want to listen to certain parts of this still, okay? Because this still is about you. We still feel like you can get some beneficial information from this particular program. So, hey, man, if you guys are on lunch or wherever you at right now, go tell somebody to tell somebody that HerbMan is on, and we're talking about food being the cure for all, okay? And if you guys are ready, man, let's go ahead and get into the presentation. And let me try to share my screen here. This is a very, very weighty subject. I know a lot of people don't like to use the word cure or heal or all that type of stuff, but we're going to use it here because we believe in it. We believe that food is the answer. The one thing we got to do, though, is make sure that we are consuming the right foods. All right, so let's see where we at, man. Can we get this going here? You guys let me know when you can see the screen. Okay. All right, so again, we're talking about food being the cure for all, okay? Food being the cure for all. And you say, well, I've heard of food as medicine. I've heard of food is medicine, but is it really truly the cure for all? I thought food was just food and medicine was for illnesses and sicknesses and things of that nature. Well, if you don't know, most of your medicines come from some type of plant-based derivative. It comes from some type of plant, all right? And so we utilize plants in almost every single aspect of life. And so when I say food, I am also too talking about plants, and I'm talking about herbs and things that are indigenous or what we call alkaline to the earth itself. It didn't have any type of man manipulated or man cultivated things. And so we need to get back to what is pure, and then we can find the medicinal understanding and the medicinal usages of our foods. Okay. And one other thing is we got to learn how to prepare the foods, man. That's the bottom line. All right. So food is the cure for all diseases is the statement that we're trying to make here. And so whether you are diseased or not, one thing you want to know going into trying to stay healthy or trying to become healthy, you need to understand detoxing. I know there's a slew of information out across the internet, especially the YouTube, where people are just, coming up with all kind of products for you to buy concerning detox, but they don't really tell you what detoxing all entails of, okay? When you detox, first of all, you need to know that if you detox without the proper information, you're going to feel more sluggish than you've ever felt before. Why? Because you are depleting yourself. You're detoxing. You're depleting all of your minerals, all of your nutrients. You're either going to the bathroom and just, boo-booing it all out, or you're pee-peeing it all out, or you're not eating. So you're on this type of fasting and diet plan where you're not getting any nutrients. And then on top of that, what you are getting, you're expelling. Okay. So detoxing, you need to learn the art of detoxing. You need to learn why you need to detox, when you need to detox, and what you need to detox, and what you need to do after the detox. So stop buying people's detoxing product if they cannot educate you on the detox. Anybody sell you a detox and don't advise you on what to do after the detox, then it's just a product that you don't need to buy. Why? Because that individual does not know enough to sell you a product without alarming you of what will happen after. Because here's the thing. You go and you do these detoxes and you don't do what you need to do afterwards, your body is almost at its most vulnerable state at that particular point, and cold can come right back, disease can come right back. Okay, so whether or not you're diseased or not, you must detox first. Even if you're a healthy individual, you got to get the gunk out, you got to get the waste, you got to get all the food out of your system, so that when you're starting this new regimen, this new lifestyle change, this new diet plan, then nothing is stopping it from improving your health. Okay, and so here at Leaf of Vital Essentials, what we recommend is first you need to do about a 3 to 4 day detox. Okay, and you want to detox your filter, so that's going to be your kidneys, your liver, and your pancreas. Now you say, well, why the pancreas? Because the pancreas is almost like the central building for your metabolism. Everything, you know, everything about disease, if you've never heard this before, you have old scholars like Hippocrates and people of that nature that says that disease starts in the gut. Okay, and the gut meaning the pancreas meaning metabolism. Okay, so how we break down foods and how we use foods for energy, this is going to be all so important. Okay, so when you see somebody who have a metabolism disorder or deficiency, what you're seeing is the onslaught or the start of disease, whether it be diabetic, whether it be obesity. All of these things are the firstlings of disease and sickness. Okay, so that's why Hippocrates alluded to the particular digestive system. But here we have a more modernized word for it, and it's your metabolism. Okay, your metabolism is the key to keeping disease out of your body. You say, well, why is that? Because it's all to do with your blood. Okay, and you'll find out that when your blood sugar levels go up or out of whack, or or not normalized, it is the firstling of disease. It's the firstlings of disease. So we need to detox the kidneys, the liver, and the pancreas. The liver stores a lot of the proteins and carbohydrates once they're broken down from the metabolic interaction or the metabolic chemical reactions. Then the pancreas and the liver and the kidney, they all work. The liver stores a lot of this stuff for the blood. The pancreas is the one that has the insulin, and the insulin are kind of like your transporters. The insulin is the one that helps the cells get their food. All right. So you got also, when you're eating, all of this is going on within your body. Okay. And if you're eating processed foods, then your body cannot break it down good enough, which is called catabolic, right? The breaking down. And then if it can't break it down, then it can't build you up, which is the anabolic, right? So these things don't go on if you're not eating the right foods. If your body can't break it down, it can't use it for energy to build you up. Okay, so detoxing, 4 days, 3 to 4 days. This will stimulate your metabolism, and this will also help you expel toxins and waste from the bowel and the intestines, so that when you move forward, now you're a clean slate. Okay, now after detoxing the body, like we just discussed, it is the most vulnerable at that particular time. So again, if you're dealing with products and people are not alarming you to what happens after a detox, even if you're just doing it to lose weight or to slim your tummy or whatever these little gimmicks that they got out here, you want to be very careful, because like I said, now you're really at a point where you can really get sick. You can really allow other things to come into your body and cause more issues than you even had before. All right, so what do we do after we detox? Now it's time to build your body up. Okay, you got the gunk out, you got the waste out, you got all of the crap, the toxins, and everything is out of you. And now we have to sustain your health by building up your immunity. So in this time, you don't fall victim to other diseases. All right. And so one of the things that we recommend is a 15-day green leaf juice regimen. Okay. Now, when you say what is a green leaf are things like Swiss chard. There are things like kale, spinach. Okay. Things like mustard greens. I mean, I know people don't like to do the bitter greens, but bitter is always good when you're talking about herbs. Okay. Especially when you're talking about the digestive system. So if you don't like bitter stuff, then maybe you can substitute some greens, but the green leaf juice is just what it is. It's green leaf. So you're talking about, like I just said, all of those greens, some carrots, you know, some wheatgrass, things of that nature, some dandelion, some whatever you can get your hands on that's green. This is what you want to do for 15 days. You're going to have it for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. And you can have nothing else. No sugars, nothing else. For 15 days, this green leaf juice will be your mom, your dad, and your kids, and everything else you got going on, your job, it'll be everything, okay, to you, especially when you're trying to be or become healthy or stay healthy, okay? So I recommend if you're 20 years old, start this right now, and you probably never see a day of disease. Okay. If you're 20 years old, if you start this right now, you will probably never see a day of disease. If you're 30 or 40 years old and you start this right now, then you are going to be good for the remainder of your time. If you're around 50 or 60, start right now. Okay. Start right now so that you can try to repair and rejuvenate yourself. 15-day green leaf juice regimen. Okay, all greens, a little carrot, and if you need some sweet, then you do an apple or an orange. That's it. All green, put a little carrot in there, and then if you need a sweetener, go apple or orange. That is it. Okay, 15 days. That is it. That's all you can do. Now, this will stimulate your immunity and your metabolism. And in these 15 days, you'll begin to start seeing the residual. You'll begin to start seeing yourself getting stronger. You'll start seeing your pain start depleting. If you're having joint pain or arthritis, or if you're having these little nicks and neck type of pains that come, headaches here and there, little muscle spasms here and there, you'll start seeing that you're not having those anymore. Okay. And the reason why, and I want to make this very, very clear to you guys. What are we doing here when we're drinking green leaf juice? Okay, well, I don't really want to get ahead of myself, but pretty much you're swapping blood for blood. Okay, in order to do something to your blood, you need blood. Okay, and if you ain't going to the hospital doing a blood transfusion, then the only closest species to you here on earth is the plant. And so you're going to have to clean your blood and clean your body. You got to eat the plant, and you got to eat the plant while it's fresh and living and it hasn't been dead for so long. Okay. And so this is what all of this is all about. Okay. Consuming the plant and all of its chlorophyll and all of its essentials, which is its blood, right? Then it will do things for your blood. All right. So now, the next one is that this also makes the body's anabolic and catabolic functions easier. So I just alluded to that before. So anabolic is what builds you up. All right. Anabolic is the hormone that builds the body up. It basically after the catabolic actions happen and they break the food down into its smallest molecule, and then anabolic uses that to build you up. It uses that for energy. Okay. And catabolic breaks everything down. Okay. So when you are on these juices, this is a time where everything is working to its peak level, because juices and because something pure, organic, and natural to the earth itself, your body knows exactly how to handle that type of stuff. That doesn't confuse the body's computer. All right, that doesn't make the body feel like you just digested a foreign agent or alien. Okay, and so that's what's going on with when we eating these processed foods in the modern day. Our bodies can't understand it. It doesn't know what it is. It's a UFO. It's an unidentified food object. Okay, what in the world are you just consuming here, buddy? Because I can't break it down, nor can I allow your body to use it. So it just sit there until you expel it. Okay, and that's why we have an influx of diabetes and cancer, because we're allowing things to sit in the body. So this is why food is the cure of all diseases. Okay, so now you're drinking this green juice. Now your anabolic and your catabolic functions are they're working very good for you. It's easy for them to break down the juice, easy for you to use the juice to build you up. And now you're feeling all energetic, and you're feeling more strong, and you're feeling more vibrant than you ever have felt before. And the one reason why is because of this. And also too, the juice will enrich your blood. Again, it would cleanse your blood. It would normalize the blood sugar. The first thing that happens in the body that can cause disease is high sugar levels in the blood. High sugar levels in the blood. So when we're dealing with obesity, and when we're dealing with diabetes, and when we're dealing with a whole slew of things that really are caused initially from high blood sugar, then this is going to be a way to put a handle on it, to stop it in its tracks. Okay, and this is all by the green leaf juice regimen. Okay, so now you've done 4 days of detox, and now you're into 15 days of this green leaf juice regimen. So now you're 19 days in. By now, you're halfway there. Okay, you're halfway there, and you should be feeling very, very good. You should be feeling some type of a residual from, first of all, you haven't ate anything in 19 days. Okay, you haven't eaten any solid foods. You haven't taken in any sugars, any artificial sweeteners, none of that type of stuff. And you're feeling awesome. No pains, you're very energetic, you're very alert. Everything is happening for you. And now you're saying, okay, when am I going to eat? This is when you're going to eat, but you need to know what, how, and why you need to eat a certain particular way. So what we recommend here at Leaf of Vital Essentials is, now the next thing is 21 days. Okay, we recommend for the next 21 days, after you've done your 19 days of detox and the green leaf juice, right, that now we want to start the 33% rule diet. What is the 33% rule diet? It is when you consume only 33% protein, 33% carbohydrates, and 33% fats on your plate every time you eat. This is your ratio. I got 33% of protein, 33% of carbohydrates, and 33% of some fats, right? And what happens is that's 99%, okay, of what your body needs. And the reason why is because these are the things that your metabolism breaks down. It breaks down protein into glucose or sugar. If your blood needed glucose, then it would break protein down as that. If your blood, your blood do need glucose. But my point is that if you don't eat protein, then the liver will use carbohydrates. If you don't eat carbohydrates, then your liver will use fats. It doesn't matter, but your blood is going to need certain things, and so your liver is going to use one of these and break it down into sugar, because the cells and everything need all of these things to survive. It needs protein, carbohydrate, and fats, and it also needs sugars to survive. But again, our liver breaks this down as glucose or as some form of sugar for the cells. So you don't necessarily have to go out and eat sugar. You just got to eat the right amount of foods, and the body will do all that itself, man. The body will do all that itself, okay? So that's the first thing. For the next 21 days, you initiate the 33% rule. All right, now, after that, you're going to be eating foods that are living, okay? Now, what do we mean by living? You don't want a food that has been sitting up no more than 3 days. whether that be in your refrigerator, whether that be in the grocery stores, whether that be wherever you go and buy or consume food. Do not consume food that has been dead past 3 days. Otherwise, you're eating dead food. Dead food could only carry dead diseases, things like cancer. Okay. So we need to make sure that we understand what quality of food that we need to be looking for. What are the qualities in the food? They need to be fresh. I mean, fresh meaning straight from the farm to your table. They need to be still having some residual of life being in them. That's why we here at Leaf of Violet Essentials have always been promoting and still will promote growing your own food so that you can make sure this transaction happens within your family, because that's pretty much the only way you're going to make sure of it. You just think about the products that are in the grocery store. I mean, even when you're talking about canned foods, man, how long has that canned food been sitting there? So, I mean, even though it may keep food from other type of environmental bacteria, the toxins and all of that, does it really have anything in it that's medicinally useful for your body and health? And so if it doesn't, does it really qualify as a food? When you look at tater chips and dips and all of these things that are really not food, they're just products that have been created for you to consume, but they have no life in them. You know, some of these meats have been sitting in the grocery store for weeks on weeks. And we all know that anything that you see out here in nature, if it dies, you will smell it the next day. But when you walk in the grocery store, you don't smell no meat. You know why? Because it's not fresh enough, but you didn't go eat it and wonder why we are plagued with what is called now in our society cancer. Okay? It's because cancer is all to do with dead stuff. Dead food is a feeding ground for cancer. So again, eat things that are living straight from the farm to your table. Now, you also want to eat foods that are whole foods, okay? The whole foods, meaning whole wheat and whole grain, is what you want to try to eat. You don't want to be doing the white bread, and you don't want to be doing, white rice, white flour, things of that nature. Stick with the whole grains, the brown rice, because basically what they do is just take the brown coating off the rice and give you the white seed. But you need all of it if it's going to come with it. I recommend wild rice, okay? But if you're going to do it wild or go brown. But white rice, come on, man. Your body cannot, again, you can't break it down, so it can't utilize it. So it just sits there. When you're talking about grains and nuts and seeds, these are going to be all things for you to do, okay? But you got to know when to eat seeds and things of that nature. A lot of times we just be eating seeds, not understanding that it's very difficult for the body to break down these particular seeds. So what you want to do is always eat seeds that accompany certain things. So you want to eat seeds in a salad or eat seeds with some fruits or something like that. That way, when you're eating the seeds, it is accompanied by something that allows the body to easily digest it. And then that way your seeds and grains could also get broken down as well, okay? But doing them by themselves will cause the body problems, all right? Now, eat foods that are plant-based, okay? Plant-based foods. Everything got to be plant-based. Now, I know some of you guys love dairy and all of that, but here's the thing. If you drink straight up pure cow's milk, that's healthy, but you may not ever be able to find pure straight up cow's milk. Because even when drinking that, it's going to be thick and it's going to be a lot. It's almost like a smoothie. If you ever really drink pure cow's milk, that's almost like a smoothie. If you ever had some Ensure or something like that, that's a meal by itself, man. You ain't going to be able to throw back some milk and then go and drink something or eat something else. So that's almost a meal in itself, and that's from the pure form, okay? But if you're just trying to figure out what can you do with dairy, you have to substitute that for like coconut milk, hemp milk, something that is plant-based. You understand what I'm saying? You can still get the dairy, but you got to do it through means that allow you to get more of the plant that you need and not of the meat or the processing of something. Because again, you have to process the milk in order for you to drink it, because of the cow and where it's living at and this, that, and the third. They want to make sure you don't get sick, so they process the milk. All right, and now to change milk into a cheese, they have to process it. So cheese is good, but it's processed. There's no way to get it from milk to cheese without processing it. So these are the things that we got to get out of, is understanding that creative food, meaning food that has been invented, we got to leave that alone. Now, going to the next one, we also too need to start eating foods that are rich in water, or water-rich foods. What are these foods? These are the foods that when you throw them in your juicer, water come out, juice come out. Okay. So and then also too, these are your watermelons, your oranges, okay, celery, all that type of stuff. Like I said, things that you put in the juicer and juice come out, those are the foods you want to continue to eat. And the reason why I put the little things in parentheses up here is because your body is over 70% water. We know that. Okay. Now these foods that are water rich, if you eat mostly those foods, right? Let's say you eat 70% of those foods, then you're good to go. Why? Because at least you're giving your body what it actually, as far as the constitution of your body, the constituents of your body, is 70% water, 30% muscle and bone and all of that, right? So when you're talking about protein, carbohydrates, and fat, there go your 30%. And when you're talking about water-rich foods, if we're talking about 33, then here is your 67%. Okay, so your 67% right here will be water-rich fruits and vegetables. So you'll have that on your plate, which will be majority of your plate. And then you'll have the protein, carbohydrates, and fats at a 30% ratio. That's how you build your plate. And that's also how you build your lifestyle. What we're giving you is not a diet, but a lifestyle. What we're giving you is not for, a particular stint of time, but for a lifetime. Okay. Now, everybody's not going to be able to do it for a lifetime, and that's fine. But at least you're getting what I call the blueprint to being healthy for the long haul. You can introduce this to your kids, and they now have a regimen. They now have a blueprint to go from, to where if they are interested in vibrant health for long periods of time, then they now have a blueprint to do it. Even if you are in your latter years and say, well, this, that, and the third, I've done a lot to my body, there's still time, and you can live out the rest of your days healthy. Okay. So what do we need to stay away from when we're on this particular lifestyle change? All right. We recommend you refrain always from any sugars and any artificial sweeteners, especially high fructose corn syrup. Okay. You guys have heard that before, but you say, well, no sugar? No, we recommend no sugars at all, because your body breaks down everything again as glucose. So your body is going to be able to use whatever you eat for what it needs as far as a sugar. You need sugar, but not the body. The body will utilize whatever you putting into it to provide the cells with glucose. Okay. So you're the one who wants the sugar, not necessarily your body. And if you're going to need sugar, then we recommend you do things like dates. Okay. You can use dates. You can use agave, something like that, but stay away from that white sugar. That white sugar ain't real. It ain't, it ain't right. Okay. Again, next is lower your refined oil consumption. So a lot of us are doing vegetable oil, canola oil, and all kind of other oils we cooking with, and we ain't reading the labels on the oil. Okay. First of all, this right here is alluding to less fried foods. So that's the first thing. If you lower your oil consumption, then that means you're going to be lowering fried food consumption. Okay, I know a lot of y'all didn't want to hear that, but we're talking about health. We're talking about curing diseases. We're talking about living past 100. We're talking about breaking the mold in the next generation. We're talking about the future of healthcare being self-care. We're talking about the future of medicine being no medicine at all. And the only way our society, our human race would ever get stronger, bigger, and better is if we understand things of the past to revolutionize our future. Okay, so lowering your refined oil consumption is going to be key. If you can't, then you need to use things like coconut oil, hemp oil, linseed oil, or sesame oil. As you can see, all of these are what? Plant-based oils. Okay, so they're going to have a little bit more medicinal value to you than some of this other stuff that you're doing, vegetable oil, canola oil. But what is that? What is that? What vegetables did it come from? You know, who said that canola oil was going to be the greatest thing for you health-wise? It may help you fry up a mean fish or a mean piece of chicken, but it may not necessarily be good for your health. So a lot of this stuff increases the flavor in our foods, and it increases our choice making ability when we go to the grocery store, and it increases the food's ability to sit there for a long period of time so that we can shop and do what we got to do. But what it decreases is our health. So it increases every other thing except for us being here for a long time. Next, we need to be mindful of our triggers, and we need not to binge eat. All right, so when you're doing this lifestyle change, you need to be mindful of your certain triggers that'll pull you back into eating crazy. And when you're on these particular lifestyle changes, I know every now and then you're going to want to eat what you want to eat, but don't binge eat. Okay, make it a part of your regimen. All right, don't say, well, since I've been doing this, man, I'm gonna go eat like crazy for the next 3-4 days to the next 2 weeks, and then I'll jump back on my plan. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're gonna do it like that, make it a part of your regimen. So what I'm saying is, make one foolish day a part of your regimen. I'm going to eat 6 days healthy, 1 crazy day, and I'm going to do that every week. That way you're going to go binging, and then that way the other 6 days of healthy eating can combat that 1 bad day. But in that 1 bad day, we're not saying go to 20 restaurants. You see what I'm saying? Or we're not saying, do all these binging that you're doing. You have to put it in, place it in, and make it a part of the lifestyle so that everything else could balance it all out. Okay. All right. Now, next, you need to stay away from modified foods. We know this to be GMO. All right. Genetically modified foods are not going to help you heal. They're not going to relieve any pain. They're not going to, allow you to circumvent any diabetic or cancerous type of issues. I'm just sorry. Modified foods only will continue to sustain or continue to elongate the situation or the illness that you are currently dealing with. So the first thing you want to do is knock this about your diet. Okay, modified foods need to get thrown in the trash can. If you got them in your refrigerator right now, you're listening to this, you need to do something else. I ain't gonna tell you to throw it away because you need to eat, but you need to do something else, man. You need to do some more research and look at our channel so that you can see exactly what you need to be doing. But this is the blueprint right here. This is the holy grail of our videos. Okay, so share, please. No carbonated drinks. But I'm pretty sure you guys know that soda is never going to be a part of a healthy lifestyle. Okay, you need to lower your red meat and fish consumption. Okay, I know that people say that meat and beef and fish is all good and this, that, and the third, but when you're trying to be on this health tip, you need to know what to eat. So what I suggest here is swap it out, substitute red meat for organ meat. When you're doing your fish consumption, eat the right fish like mackerel, salmon, catfish, and things of that nature that are going to be high in fatty acids and omega-3s and 6s and all that stuff that you need, right? So you want to do that, but you don't want to overly consume. And when I mean fish, I ain't talking about overly consuming a whole bunch of crab legs and shellfish. That's not what we're talking about. You need, like I said again, mackerel, sardines, salmon, catfish. All these things got a couple things in common. They're high in fat in fats, right? But in the good fats, in the omegas and all this different stuff that your body needs. So I recommend you doing 2 to 3 days of some fish. Outside of that, keep it with the vegetables and the nuts and everything like that. Now, if you are currently dealing with a disease and you're currently in pain and you're going through a lot of stuff, I would totally take out meat and fish, totally out of the diet, period. If you're dealing with something, okay, period. And then just do this regimen without that. All right, now next is no refined salts, okay? All you need to be utilizing here is rock or sea salt, because those are your true essences that come from the sea. So that is what's in the sea. That has the proper amount of iodine and all the things you need, because it's indigenous. It ain't been made by somebody in the laboratory. So sea salt or rock salt gives the body what God intended for the body to have, okay? So those are the salts that you want to utilize. Next is no wheat and no white flour. I think I kind of went over this before, but we know that that's going to be bad for us, right? Why we say no wheat? Believe it or not, wheat products are the biggest things diabetics have to deal with. I'll say that again. Wheat products are one of the biggest causes for diabetes. So if you're dealing with that, then why would we suggest that? Why would we put that in there? All right. So no wheat mixtures. If it's not whole wheat, don't do nothing. But if you got diabetes or something like that, then don't do no wheat at all. Okay. Don't do no wheat at all. No white flour. Use alternative flours like buckwheat, coconut flour. There's other things out there you can also use as flours, amaranth, canaan. There's a few different herbs that you could literally powder down and make flour from. Okay, you just got to get back into the kitchen again. Get back into really making dinner instead of just cooking dinner. You know what I mean? You got to make dinner, and I can't just cook it. You got to make it. And so that's really what it's all about. And look, I understand that modern life does not really provide us some opportunities to make dinner. You know, I mean, a lot of our spouses, and even if you're a man, you coming home from work, you may not necessarily feel like making nothing, but you'll cook a little something so you can go to bed on it. As a female, same thing. You go from the job, coming home, you have to then, you know, try to satisfy the husband and the kids. And so you may not be feeling like making nothing, but I'll cook a little something because we all got to eat and go to bed. So I realize it. And so that's the problem really, is that, again, we are on a diet of our forefathers and our parents, but we're not as active as they were. So, you know, when you're eating chitlins and collard greens and macaroni and cheese and cornbread every day, it does taste good, and it is good. But mind you that when your grandmama them and your great granddaddy them was eating it, they was out in the field for, you know, most of their day, 8 to 10 hours a day. They walked to the grocery store, to the store. So therefore they worked off that heavy meal. Now you eat it and then you go sit in front of a laptop for 8 hours at work, or you go sit in front of a laptop at home, or you just sit on the couch at home. So eating the same foods but less activity cause diseases. Okay. So we definitely want to make sure we know what to stay away from during this particular lifestyle regimen. Okay. We got to stay away from these things. Now you say, well, how long should I do this? Okay. We recommend here at Leaf of Violet Essentials that you do this for the remainder of your life. For the remainder of your life. Hey, look, guys, if there's a way to be healthy, if there's a way to live to your 100, I mean, with a surety, without, you know, worrying about, I mean, of course, we got to worry about environmental situations and accidental situations or incidental situations. But for the most of us, the things that you can avoid, the things that you can change, the things that are in your control, then I don't understand why we can't conceptualize how to control those things. And so my point to you is that if I have an ability to live till I'm 100 and all I got to worry about is incidentals, then I'm going to do everything in my power to reach those particular plateaus. And so we recommend that this is a lifetime lifestyle regimen. But for some of you guys that, hey, don't want to do it for that, we get it and we understand. However, this plan only covers a 40-day span. So when you look at it, there's going to be 4 days of detox plus 15 days of the green leafy juice, which makes 19. And then you're going to do a 21-day, 33% diet plan. And 21 and 19 equals 40. This is a 40-day plan. But once you start doing it, you're going to see that you can carry this into the next 40 days and into the next 40 days and into the next 40 days. And it's going to be so great. It's going to be so good. You're not going to want to feel awful again. You're not going to want to feel sluggish. You're not going to want to feel tired. You're not going to want to feel down. You're not going to want to feel diseased ever again. For those of you that will want to do that, then you need more to do with the brain than the body. All right. And then lastly, how long really is truly your decision? Because ultimately, your health is your health. It belongs to you. And what I see in this society nowadays is it's almost as if we have gravitated more toward death. Okay. It's almost like we have said, okay, death is accepted, right? We know it's inevitable. It's a part of life. And therefore, since I know that I'm going to die, then the hell with being, limited as far as when I'm going, I eat whatever the hell I want to eat, because we got to die from something. You remember that old saying, right? And so it's almost like you're committing suicide by food, or you're committing homicide by food. You understand what I'm trying to say, you guys? And so this is what we're doing. It's almost like we have, like I said, we have grabbed hold more on to death than to life, more on to hate than to love. And that's a whole nother subject. But if you love yourself, then life comes out of love. Okay? Life comes out of love. If you really want to ask people who have lived to be 100, 115, they had a life full of love. They had a life full of love. And you have to have a love for yourself before things start illuminating to you that you have been treating yourself wrong. Some of us can look out for the betterment of somebody else before our own selves, right? Some of us could stop somebody else from eating something bad, but then we'll go and have the same bad food, okay? And when you look at our society, there are a few things that we're going to have to change because we are addicted. We are a society of addicted people, and we are addicted to sugars, which is why the advertisement companies they realized it. They realized it, man. And so they're bringing out more and more companies. They got more and more sugar-based foods, okay? They know that you are addicted to salt. So pretty much every processed food that you can think of is high in salt or sodium. They realize that you are addicted to sex. So they put almost every image in your commercials and on TV and in your music, in your movies, in your household, because you love it. So we're going to sell it to you. Okay. What else? Alcohol addiction, the same way. You love alcohol. So therefore we have pretty much promoted it for every sports event, for every gathering, for every celebration. You need to have some alcohol in it, and it'll heighten your celebratory situation. For every engagement or for everything that you need to do to have some fun, they're going to paint alcohol as being the catalyst for that. But we know alcohol do you way worse than some other illegal drugs, okay? So again, they are advertising to your addictions, and we need to be smarter as consumers to understand what we are socially being engineered to do. Now, addictions are not bad, but when they are redirected into bad areas, it can cause very, very bad problems for the human, okay? So these are the things that we definitely want to start looking more and more into. I beg you guys to really share the video, to really understand the content. If you guys have any comments, any questions about this, please, please, please feel free to contact me in any one of these ways you see here on your screen, or you can email me. Okay, you can email me at leafofvitalessentials@gmail.com. That's leafofvitalessentials@gmail.com. You can also call me. You can call me no matter where you are in the world. It does not matter. You can call me. My number is 470-207-3446. Now, we do have a $30 1-hour consultation fee. So if you want to talk for an extended period of time, it may cost you $30, okay? But outside of that, we're going to give you nothing but love, all right? Nothing but love, man. So hold on here. Let me try to share my screen back on myself here and get us back into the regular schedule program. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So again, man, this is a very important video for myself. This is a very important video for Leaf of Violet Essentials as a whole. This is kind of the accumulation of all the knowledge, all of the research that we have been undergoing, and we're going to continue. And if there are things that can make the regimen better, if there are things that can make this lifestyle regimen more unique to you, feel free to utilize any of the avenues that you just saw there to connect with us, and let's explore different avenues for you specifically. No matter where you at, no matter how old you are, we can come up with something that will benefit your lifestyle. Okay. Now, when we're talking about anything outside of, you know, health and all of that type of stuff, I'm always going to shoot you to your to consult your doctor or your physician, okay? Because I want you guys to remember that I'm not a physician or a doctor. All right, so consult your physician. But what I am is I'm love, okay? I'm love, man. And I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. All right? Love you, man. Till next time. Peace.